Here we go. We're back on the air, the Gary J Sports Page on GJRB. And you can be part of the show in our last half hour of the program. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon for the Sports Page here on Spreaker. Always glad to bring you the best in sports talk radio. And we kind of do this every once in a while just because it's fun. Just because doing sports talk radio is kind of fun. You gotta enjoy it, and it is. Oh, by the way, I got a notification here. West Virginia now is up 7 over Iowa State right now. West Virginia up 7 over Iowa State. 7-0 West Virginia now over Iowa State. So, imagine that. So we'll keep an eye on that one. So we got West Virginia just got a touchdown, and they are now up 7 over Iowa State right now. Gary J Sports Page on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Thanks a lot for tuning into the Sports Page as we're doing live sports talk radio here on Clinton, Iowa. And this is pretty much our full final hour of the program. And we're going to do one more half hour after this. So we're going to try to squeeze as much in as possible, including our Spreaker shout-outs, and let you know what's going on GJRB Online over the next several days. So just to let you know about that. And some broadcasts that are coming up on GJRB. So we're gonna do that coming up. And you're welcome to be on the program. Love to hear from you. The Gary J Sports Page here on Spreaker, here on GJRB Online. And this last hour, last half hour or so, we're going to get into some of the interesting conversation that we love to do here on our program, and close out this show, and see if we can get some listeners in this last hour or so of the program. Gary J Sports Page here on GJRB Online. And thank you so much for tuning in. Brought to you by Spreaker, Spreaker. Yeah, you too could be a radio personality like me and do this radio stuff. It's fun. It really is. Even though I don't get listeners, it's fun anyway. It gets kind of dark here in the old chat room. But I'm hoping maybe someone will turn on the light and say hi. You know what I'm saying? But Spreaker's fun. It is. You can be part of it. And all you have to do is get in here. Right now is the 30% discount if you're a Air Talent user. 30% discount for the next 24 hours. You get extra storage, extra space, extra stats. But you can sign up right now and get free and broadcast free for like 15 minutes at a time. I mean, this is the only podcast platform that I know of so far that lets you broadcast for free to test it out. Spreaker is just the best place to go. It's Spreaker, and share your voice with the world. Spreaker. Gary J. Russell with you here on GJRB Online. Thank you so much for tuning into the program as we do the Sports Page update scores. Right now, let's do it again. Scores right here on GJRB Online. We just got notified that West Virginia is up on Iowa State 7-0 right now. Meanwhile, Clemson they are first and 10 on the FSU 25 with 8:58 left in the second quarter. 28-0 Clemson over Florida State. And then we got Wisconsin. They're up on Michigan State right now. Washington State over Arizona State 17-7. And Cincinnati over Houston 14-10 right now. 14-10. They are in the third quarter of that game. And Alabama up on Texas A&M 14-10. And that's a look at our scores for now on this is scores of the scores every 10 minutes on GJRB Online on the Gary J Sports Page. Hey, I tell you what we're going to do right now. I'm going to don't know if I found that article yet on the UFC fighter going to wrestling. But right now, again, West Virginia over Iowa State. Right now, Iowa State is in the lead over West Virginia after a Tyke Smith interception. Brock Purdy for a 19-yard touchdown. So that's what's going on right now. There you go. Alrighty. Meanwhile, let's see. We're going to... I'm going to check and see here if we have a second half hour of the air. Let me see here. I want to go to my main page, and then I'm going to go into the episodes. Okay. All right. So I want to check something out here. Yeah, we're doing the Gary J Sports Page. Hope you're enjoying it. I enjoy doing this show, even though it can probably drive people crazy, but I love doing this show. And even though I don't get listeners, I'm doing it anyway just because I love doing radio. And it's a blast. You know, it really is. I have a great time doing this stuff. And if you like our program and you can listen to it in post, it doesn't sound right when you're listening to the current scores, but you are welcome to listen to the podcast on demand after it's over, because I talk a lot about interesting things, and you can leave your message there as well on the Sports Page update. So check that out. All right. Okay, let's see what we got here. We are at the segment 2 end of the hour. So that's the end of hour 3 going into the final part. So we're going to get that ready. Final part closing coming up next of our Gary J Sports Page for Saturday, October 12th, 2019. And doing a lot of really good stuff here, and you're welcome to do it. I'm going to go into my Google right now. But before I do that, I'm going to be posting to see if anybody out there. So I'm going to be posting here. Let's see here. I'm going to go back into my Spreaker here. Okay, let's see. I'm going to click out of that. And then I'm going to click this and post. Click this and post. So we're going to do 2 postings there. And see if we can get somebody in there. Let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and just post this one. That we're still on the air live. Because sometimes I just kind of shuffle around a little bit. And I'm going to go into... let's see here. I'm going to go in and... go into my groups and do a few of those, and do that throughout the show. Don't always do it all at once, because I really don't have time to do it all at once. So I just kind of do it little by little and see if we get a bites. I just don't think there's anybody on here today, to be quite honest. I think that's why I'm not really getting any listeners on this program. At this point, usually in the afternoons, about this hour, we usually get Ed Delgado in here with the Caramel Conservative program. He usually comes in, and but I don't see him even in there. So I'm going to be checking on that and see where everybody's at this point. Right? Did Spreaker Taverns meet the Spreakers and the GJRB site, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's see, I'm going to go in there. GJRB Online, I'm going to post the link to go into the show from there. And I do that sometimes just to see if I get any responses that way by posting the link to my chat room. And I do that. And sometimes that works. But you can also catch me on Twitter. As a matter of fact, I'm going to visit Twitter here in a few minutes as I do the scroll through social media. We're going to do that and try to find that story on the boxers as well. I'm going to do that. And you're welcome to be part of the show. I'd love to hear from you. This is Gary J Sports Page on GJRB Online on Spreaker for a Saturday afternoon. We're going to be closing it out in just about maybe 44 minutes. We'll be closing out the show. And right now we got a score update on that West Virginia game. Iowa State, West Virginia. Iowa State finally getting a touchdown. It's 7-6. They should get a 3-pointer over the thing there, and it should be tied up 7-all coming up. So we'll check that here in a couple of seconds. See if they do a. There we go. And I'm going to check and see if they kick the goal post. Okay, let me see if we kick the goal post. And let me see here. Should see that they made a goal post kick. Iowa State now, West Virginia up by 1 over Iowa State. Doesn't look like they kicked over the field goal. Looks like they might have missed it. There's the touchdown. Okay, there we go. 7-7 tie. Okay, good. 7-7 tie. Iowa State, West Virginia. 7-7 tie. 14:55 left. Brees Hall rushed into to the left for a 1-yard touchdown. O'Connor Asa and made that pat. 1-yard touchdown. 1-yard touchdown. So it's now 7-7 tie, Iowa State, West Virginia, right now. 7-7 tie. Absolutely fabulous. So Iowa State Cyclones doing a little good day, too, as well, with a 7-7 tie with West Virginia. You're seeing the Gary J Sports Page on GRB Online. Thanks a lot for tuning in to the program. And we're seeing that there's some listeners out there already posted over some of the social sites. So I'm hoping maybe we get some reply here real soon. Maybe we'll get some listening audience. I'm hoping so. Not sure yet, but never know. My headphones are broke. They fell apart at the beginning of the show. That figures. So we're kind of dealing with that situation. And we're following the Iowa State West Virginia game. And I'm trying to see if I can find that story. I'm going to click out of MeWe for a time. And I'm going to go into Google and type in UFC. Let's see if I can do that real quick. UFC. Boxer leaving to go to wrestling, to WWE. Let's see if we get an article on that. Okay, that was Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez. He is leaving boxing and going to wrestling. Cain Velasquez was a fighter for the UFC. He signed a multi-year contract with WWE. Tyson Fury also to appear. This is an interesting story because I had this again. I could not find it. I couldn't remember the guy's name for the life of me. So I thought I was going to go down and find the article. This comes out of Las Vegas. WWE's next big show is going to have some serious combat flavors. Boxing heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, former UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez, have signed to perform in WWE's Crown Jewel on October 31st, that's Halloween, in Saudi Arabia. It was announced on Friday, yesterday, at a news conference at the T-Mobile Arena. And here's that conference.
To be joining the WWE. I know Brock is big. He's the biggest. But he ain't the baddest. I've beaten him once before in the UFC, and I'm ready to do it again. October 31st at the Crown Jewel.
This is my kingdom, and I am the conqueror. To me, this is not a show, Kane. For 10 years, for 10 long years, I've been waiting for this moment, Kane. I get up every day, and I have to look at this scar that you put on my face inside that octagon. I can't wait. I can't wait to get my hands on you again.
Well, he ain't playing games either, boy. This guy's ticked off to the... Oh, boy. Furry will take WWE's Braun Strowman, and Velasquez will force former UFC foe Brock Lesnar, the WWE heavyweight champion. Velasquez knocked out Lesnar to win the UFC heavyweight title back in 2010. WWE Crown Jewel will take place at the King Fahd International Stadium in Riyadh as part of the 10-year big money deal that WWE has with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Bro, jeez. He's 31, and he is a lineal boxer heavyweight champion. He was coming off a hard-fought anonymous decision to win over Otto Wallin last month at the T-Mobile Arena. Velasquez, 37, lost his last UFC bout via knockout with Francis, they didn't even pronounce that, Negaman, in February. Velasquez and Fury already have appeared in storylines in the WWE television to drive interest into these matches. For Fury, though, his venture is expected to be a one-off for a time being. He's expected to face Deontay Wilder in the highly anticipated boxing rematch next year. The two fought on a split draw in a classic bout last December. It's reportedly concerns that Fury's camp about a cut over his right eye. Reportedly concerns over Fury's camp about a cut over his right eye he suffered against Wallin, opening up the WWE match. Fury needed 47 stitches for multiple cuts following that 12-round bout. Ow. I've had stitches before. They ain't pretty. Velasquez, meanwhile, is expected to be in the WWE much longer. Sources told ESPN that he has signed a lucrative multi-year contract with WWE and has also nullified UFC his retirement. So he's notified UFC of his retirement. He's going to go over to wrestling. He's been removed from the UFC's United States Anti-Doping Agency drug testing and the UFC heavyweight rankings. The UFC did not immediately return a request or a comment. So, wow. He's just going to join over there. He's just going to leave wrestling. He's going to leave boxing and go to wrestling. He's going to do that. Wow. So we'll keep on that story. Listen to the Gary J Sports page on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Thanks a lot for tuning into the show, and I love doing this program, and I hope maybe we get some listeners in the last half hour of the sports pages. We're entering into that point right now, and we're going to be, after this break, be going in and switching the hours, and we're going to do our Spreaker shout-outs coming up in the last half hour. Also coming up in the last half hour, I hope you'll stay with me for this, we're going to do one more scores update. We'll do another Clinton forecast and keep up on some live scores before we head into the Iowa Hawkeye football game right here on our 9-foot closed circuit 107.9, Talk FM 108. That's coming up next. But we still have a half hour to go. So please join me. We have a great time doing this sports talk. And, love having you aboard. And I want to get some audience participation. I mean, it's been dead all day. It just seems like I'm not getting anywhere as far as listeners are concerned. I think part of it, too, is it's not just that I have a dead show. No one knows I'm on, I don't think. Unless they're lucky enough that someone just passes by and sees the stream. But I don't think they know I'm on. Part of it. Because I don't take time to promote it. And the reason lately is because I promote a show and it doesn't air. For some reason something comes up and I have to cancel. So I haven't been really promoting shows ahead of time. Because sometimes I promote a show and then something comes up and I have to cancel it. So save myself the cancellation announcement, I don't promote the show. But it hurts in the long run because then my audience is gone. I'm not getting any. And that's what I'm getting this afternoon. Just quiet in the chat room here for some reason. Don't know why. But we'll figure that one out coming up. Also coming up next hour, we'll take a look and do a scroll through social media and Twitter and Facebook. That's coming up next hour. And we'll do our program schedule as well, all in the next hour right here on GJRB Online. So stay tuned as we continue the sports page here on GJRB Online. Overcast skies in Clinton, Iowa right now, 55 degrees. At the Mayer Farms and the GJRB Spreaker Studios just above Main Avenue and Lions Shopping District here in Clinton. And this is Gary J. Sports Page here on GJRB Online on a dead Saturday afternoon. Now, so we're going to be flipping over here pretty soon to the last part. So I'm getting that ready for the last part closing. And we're going to end it there at around 4:25, about 4:27:30, somewhere around there. We're going to end it. Let's see, 4:27. Yeah, 4:27:30. We'll end it. That gives me enough time to get some local spots in and get join up with our partner station KROS here in Clinton, Iowa, for the Iowa Hawkeye football game. Okay, so we've got that coming up. So we're going to be doing that. And we got some more stuff. So check around. We're going to take a break. And we'll be right back with more Sports Page coming up here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker, across America. This is the Gary J. Sports Page on GJRB and the GJRB Online Network. This is GJRB